Caitlin Clark could be refusing to use Indiana Fever medical staff.
Fever opinion is questionable.
Your doctors suck. I'm getting my own doctors. I'm not using y'all doctors. And whatever the medical staff is doing is unfortunately not enough. At this point, Indiana Fever cannot be trusted.
Your coach keeps lying and calling it a day-to-day situation.
But in any case, it's not day-to-day.
Caitlin Clark isn't risking her career for anyone, not even her own team.
She's getting battered night in, night out, pushed around, battered.
It's very clear. One injury is leading to another injury is leading to another injury.
After being injured 4 times and still pushed to play, she's had enough. Word is, she's refusing to trust the Fever's doctors.
She's already missing the All-Star game in the 3-point contest. The question is, how much more? We won't know until we know about the imaging details, which were not revealed. But in any case, it's not day-to-day.
And honestly, who could blame her? If you stand 100% with Caitlin, drop it in the comments right now.
Caitlin Clark is the face of a league. We love you, CC.
There's one person in this league that when she walks in the building, when she walks in the room, the owners see dollar signs. There's only one person, and her name's Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has barely made it through a stretch of 5 healthy games this season.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, bro. The numbers don't lie, the dates don't lie.
That's not a rumor. That's a fact. Since the start of the season in late May, she's dealt with 4 separate lower body injuries, 2 quad strains and 2 groin injuries.
They're 4 different injuries, and it seems like 4 different minor injuries.
Both on opposite sides of her body.
Caitlin Clark has been hurt 3 times this season already, a left quad injury strain, and will be out a minimum of 2 weeks.
The timeline paints a disturbing picture. She started with a left quad strain, which sidelined her for weeks. Then came a left groin strain, followed by a right groin strain shortly after she returned.
It's a whole new quad injury, guys. It's a whole new side, whole new thing. So expect the same thing to happen the first time.
These aren't isolated incidents. They're stacking up, and they all point to one thing. She's being rushed back before her body's ready.
Left groin strain, 5/26/25. Left groin strain, 7/5/25. Caitlin Clark has been dealing with this groin strain for damn near 2 months.
Doctors who've reviewed her injuries publicly say there's no way she should have been labeled day-to-day.
This is when they started the day-to-day thing. 2 different doctors just told the shocking truth about Caitlin Clark injury. The Indiana Fever training staff and medical staff kind of dropped the ball on its.
She's already missing the All-Star game in the 3-point contest. The question is, how much more? We won't know until we know about the imaging details, which were not revealed. But in any case, it's not day-to-day.
One even said that label was flat out inaccurate and irresponsible for the kind of soft tissue injuries she's dealing with. Groin and adductor strains are notorious for slow healing, and re-injuring the opposite side of the body right after recovering from the left is a textbook sign of overcompensation, something that happens when you return too soon.
You're going to feel a little strain inside your groin area. That's what's happening to Caitlin Clark. See, when that left groin had got hurt, it threw her mobility off. Groin strain is that they are very slow healing tissue, easy to re-injure and consistently required for anything involving the legs. Sometimes even shutting them down for a couple weeks isn't enough.
Even worse, her body hasn't had a full recovery window. Since the first day of training camp, Caitlin hasn't had 10 consecutive healthy days.
Caitlin Clark has not played 5 full games this whole damn season,
let alone games. And the consequences are adding up fast. The scans and timelines don't lie. She's not just sore, she's been playing compromised the entire season.
She came back too fast and she injured the right side.
This isn't about pain tolerance, it's about long-term damage. What's alarming is that she's clearly in pain, clearly not moving right, and still getting trotted out for appearances, practices, and even travel, while the franchise continues to call it day-to-day. This pattern is reckless, and it's exactly why Caitlin is now terrified of trusting her health with a team that seems more focused on keeping up appearances than actually protecting their star player.
Very, very clear. she was hurt.
You just don't allow it to recover. You keep throwing her ass back out there. She keeps telling you she's good.
Caitlin Clark's recent decision to step away from the Indiana Fever's medical team isn't just a reaction. It's the result of a growing pattern of neglect, inconsistency, and confusion from within the franchise. And now fans, analysts, and even medical professionals are speaking up, saying what Caitlin may have finally realized. The Fever's staff can't be trusted with her career. Let's start with what the experts are saying. Multiple sports physicians, including those experienced with NFL and NBA athletes, have weighed in on Caitlin's injuries, and their opinions are damning. One prominent doctor reviewed her timeline and bluntly stated, "Whatever the Indiana Fever medical staff is doing, it's not enough."
Whatever the medical staff is doing right now, it is unfortunately not enough.
That same doctor said the kind of groin injury Caitlin has, an adductor strain, often requires targeted injections, stem cell treatments,
We're going to get into, they're going to inject her with stem cells and all that.
and weeks of recovery time. But instead, she was sent back out after a few days, only to get hurt again. It's no longer just about the injuries themselves. It's about how they're being handled. Every time she's sidelined, the team labels her day-to-day, downplaying the severity. But her injury history tells a completely different story. This isn't a sprained ankle or mild soreness. This is soft tissue damage, and she's now dealing with it on both sides of her lower body. Experts say calling this day-to-day is not only misleading, but dangerous. And the more they do it, the more obvious it becomes that this is about protecting image and ticket sales.
There's so many things that are going wrong right now in Indiana with how this Caitlin Clark shit has been working out, and it's one thing after the other,
Not Caitlin's long-term health. And that brings us to the heart of the problem. Caitlin is the face of the league. She's not just a player, she's a walking headline, a box office draw. The league knows it, her team knows it, which means there's constant pressure to keep her visible, even if she's not at 100%. Instead of being allowed the recovery time she desperately needs, Caitlin's being flown around the country, listed as questionable, and used as a promotional tool.
There's some injuries where it could literally just be she's not going to get better. By taking a month off, she's not going to be better this season. She's going to need 2-3 months, so she might as well play the season.
Even when she can't play. One analyst called it insanity. Another said the Fever are starting to look like Chicago Bulls 2.0, a reference to how the Bulls mishandled Derrick Rose's injury.
Now, Indiana don't know what the hell they're doing, bro. They have not a clue what the hell they're doing with rehabilitating Caitlin and getting her ready to go.
Costing him years of peak performance.
They Chicago 2.0. Because that's what it's looking like. It's looking like Indy could be Chicago 2.0.
And what about the team's leadership? Stephanie White, the Fever's head coach, has added to the confusion. Her statements have been inconsistent at best. She says Caitlin is progressing, but admits she hasn't even seen her. She talks about more tests being run, yet offers no clarity on timelines.
She's going to see some doctors and get some more tests run early in the week. I don't expect her to be available on Tuesday. So we're just going to continue to take it one day at a time and let her get her evaluations early this week. And then once we've done that, hopefully we'll have more of a clear line of what.
She throws around the phrase, "We're taking it day by day," but doctors outside the organization say this isn't a day-to-day injury at all. It's week to week or longer. One fan said what everyone else was thinking. She's clearly hiding something. Behind the scenes, Caitlin seems to be taking back control. There's strong speculation and signs that she's now working with her own team of outside doctors.
Replace Caitlin Clark training staff would be a good start. She's going to get her own doctors, bro. And that's the right thing for Caitlin to do. At this point, Indiana Fever cannot be trusted. She's getting her own doctors, getting second opinions, and kudos to her for that because this is her career. Whether she's in Indiana, New York, wherever she's at, this is her future.
These are likely high-level sports medicine professionals.
Second and third opinion, which are likely some NBA pro doctors.
Possibly with NBA connections. And that's no coincidence. Caitlin Clark knows her worth, and more importantly, she knows what's at stake. She's seen enough of the Fever's poor handling to step away, and it's the smartest move she could have made. Let's not forget, she's only 22. This is supposed to be the foundation of a legendary career, but instead she's battling back-to-back injuries, questionable diagnoses, and a franchise that keeps mishandling her every step of the way. When you have to bring in your own doctors just to feel safe, that says it all. She's not doing this for drama. She's doing it because she doesn't trust them anymore. And no player should have to play through fear.
Caitlin Clark has lost all faith in the damn medical staff.
Just to protect the business side of the game. Caitlin Clark deserves better. And now she's making it clear, if the Fever won't protect her, she'll protect herself.
2-3 games and it hurt again. This type of stuff really don't happen. Stephanie White keeps saying it's day to day. She's not no damn day to day. Quit lying. She probably synced their medical staff and realized their medical staff didn't really seem like they knew what the hell they was doing. She said, you know what? I'm gonna just go get my own doctor. That means she has two adductor muscles that are weak and recently strained.
Behind every injury update and press conference clip lies a far more disturbing reality. Caitlin Clark isn't just battling pain, she's battling a system that's been exploiting her since day one. This is bigger than a groin strain, bigger than miscommunication with trainers. What's happening to Caitlin is a calculated failure to protect the league's biggest star, all in the name of money, attention, and ratings. And the price she's paying, her health, her peace of mind, and potentially her entire future. Let's start with the physical toll.
She's getting battered night in, night out, pushed around, battered.
Caitlin came into the WNBA with momentum few rookies ever experience. A generational player, fresh off a record-shattering college career, she became the face of women's basketball overnight. But instead of being slowly eased into a physically brutal league, she was thrown into the fire. No breaks, no ramp-up period, no off days. And as early as training camp, insiders report she wasn't even healthy for 10 consecutive days. Think about that. Not even 10 straight days of being fully fit before the season even tipped off. From there, it's been a cycle of injury, rushed recovery, and re-injury. First the left quad, then the left groin, then the right groin. Each time she returns, the league and team trumpet it as a victory, only for her to limp back off the court days later.
Bring Caitlin back too early so she re-injures her existing injuries. She hasn't re-injured anything.
It's not bad luck. It's not just part of the game. It's a direct result of being overused and underprotected. She's been traveling nonstop, doing interviews, making appearances, and somehow still expected to carry an underperforming team.
I couldn't even go 3 games, bro. I'm hurt again.
Every night on the court.
Actually, before the season even started, about Caitlin Clark actually putting on all this muscle at such a fast rate.
But while the physical strain is obvious, the mental weight Caitlin's carrying is even heavier. Imagine knowing the league's ratings spike when you play and crash when you don't. Imagine being so essential to the brand that even your injury status becomes a tool for ticket sales. One analyst noted how attendance dropped at the All-Star game the moment Caitlin was ruled out. The seats were sold, but the building wasn't full. People didn't come because she wasn't playing. And the league noticed. That kind of pressure isn't just unhealthy, it's dangerous. Because instead of prioritizing recovery, the messaging around Caitlin has become all about, will she play or not? It's a never-ending PR game designed to keep fans guessing, keep cameras rolling, and keep money flowing. Meanwhile, her body is screaming for rest, and her well-being is being ignored. Worse, this pressure is creating a culture of silence around her injuries. Stephanie White continues to describe her status as day-to-day, even after multiple injuries on both sides of her body. She doesn't offer timelines. She doesn't offer details. Instead, the same vague answers get repeated week after week.
Caitlin Clark plans to meet with doctors early this week, and then they'll formulate a plan.
As if fans can't see through the facade. And that's what it's become, a facade. A calculated media strategy to give the illusion of progress. While behind the scenes, Caitlin is getting worse, not better. Then there's the travel. Caitlin is still being flown across the country, even while hurt, from New York to Indiana, to Vegas, to Chicago. Why? Why move an injured athlete across states when she isn't playing? One reason, visibility. The franchise and league want her courtside, waving to fans, keeping her name trending. But every flight, every appearance, every smile she's forced to put on while her body aches is another reminder. They're not protecting her. They're profiting off her. The weight of being the face of a league isn't just about playing well. It's about being visible 24/7, even when you're in pain. And unlike the veterans who've had time to adapt to the grind, Caitlin was thrown into this as a rookie. No buffer, no roadmap, just expectations, pressure, and cameras everywhere. It's emotional exhaustion stacked on top of physical breakdown. And here's the most tragic part. Caitlin's situation is being normalized. Coaches act like everything is fine. Team reps throw around hopeful phrases. The league markets her return before she's even ready. And fans are expected to cheer while the player they love most is clearly suffering. This is how careers are cut short, not from one catastrophic moment, but from 1,000 small decisions made by people who prioritize brand over body. And Caitlin, she sees it. She knows her worth. She knows this pace isn't sustainable. That's why she's pulling away from team doctors, leaning on her own specialists.
I'm getting my own doctors. I'm not using y'all doctors.
And trying to reclaim control over a career they're steering into the ground. It's not just fear, it's survival. Caitlin Clark isn't terrified for no reason. She's terrified because she's seen what happens to players who stay quiet.
She ain't messing with their doctors, bro. Team doctors remain deeply involved as I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. We're talking about the face of a league.
And she's refusing to let the league chew her up and spit her out before her prime. If she doesn't protect herself, clearly no one else will.
Obviously, none of the All-Stars practiced today, but just how is Caitlin progressing from that right groin injury?
Yeah, I haven't seen since the game last night, but I think she's progressing. I think that we're continuing to address everything that needs to be addressed. She's going to see some doctors and get some more tests run early in the week. I don't expect her to be available on Tuesday. So we're just going to continue to take it one day at a time and evaluations early this week, and then once we've done that, hopefully we'll have more of a clear line of what it looks like.
Caitlin Clark's injuries may be visible, but the deeper damage, the part fans don't always see, is rooted in something far more dangerous: systemic sabotage. Whether intentional or not, everything about how the Indiana Fever and parts of the league have handled her screams one thing: use her up, squeeze every headline out of her, and keep the machine running, even if she breaks down. And the more you unpack it, the more sinister it all looks. Let's start with the complete lack of transparency. The medical reports are vague. The injury updates are copy-paste. The coaching staff says one thing, then contradicts it days later. Meanwhile, Caitlin's body is clearly struggling, and fans are left to guess whether she's healing or just being silenced. It's become a game of optics, one where truth takes a back seat to ticket sales. And Caitlin? She's caught in the middle, having to smile for cameras while quietly protecting a body that's screaming for rest. But the biggest red flag isn't just the poor communication. It's how her health is being weaponized against her. If she sits out, critics say she's soft. If she plays and limps, they say she's declining. And the worst part? The league benefits either way. Her name trends whether she's on the court or in the injury report. She's become a storyline first, an athlete second. Now take that pressure and amplify it with a team that's done next to nothing to shield her. Where are the minutes restrictions? Where is the protective rotation? Where is the honest, assertive voice from management saying,
down there, coaches kind of pulling her, not letting her celebrate. Down to her going off on Stephanie White in a tunnel, down to players sneak dissing and
we're shutting Caitlin down until she's 100% nowhere. Because protecting Caitlin might mean a dip in attendance, less media coverage, or even criticism from rival players who already feel threatened by her rising stardom. So instead of safety, they serve her up, again and again, to keep the spotlight hot. Even the WNBA's branding strategy seems built on overexposing Caitlin. She's on every poster, every schedule, every league highlight package. She's flown around like a show pony for events she has no business attending while injured. And it's not subtle, it's intentional. Because without her, the league's momentum falters. But with her, even limping, they keep riding the hype. And what makes it even more exhausting is the silence from those who should have her back. Where are the league veterans publicly demanding better treatment for her? Where are the statements from the franchise taking accountability? Everyone's quiet, because speaking out risks rocking the boat. So Caitlyn is left to advocate for herself, to bring in her own doctors, to step back when no one else will pull her from the spotlight. Let's be clear, Caitlyn Clark isn't just dealing with a mismanaged injury. She's dealing with a system that doesn't know how or doesn't care to protect its stars. One that values moments over longevity, headlines over healing, and spectacle over support. This is how athletes get broken, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Slowly, publicly, under pressure, and yet Caitlyn's still here, still fighting, still pushing back in the only way she can, by taking control of her narrative and health. The fear she feels isn't weakness, it's a warning sign, a signal that something's seriously wrong. And the fact that she's stepping away from the team doctors, that she's distancing herself from the very people who are supposed to have her best interest in mind, speaks volumes. She shouldn't have to do this alone. But the truth is she's been forced to, because when a league puts its product before its players, the players have no choice but to protect themselves. Caitlyn Clark is doing exactly that. And if that terrifies the system around her, maybe it should.
If not, she's going to be at a high risk of re-injuring for the rest of the season and wouldn't be 100% until the offseason. Also, in a hyperbaric chamber for 60 to 90 minutes a day. Caitlyn Clark is going to need a stem cell product to recover from this injury, because if not, she's going to be at a high risk for re-injury.
Caitlyn Clark was brought in to save the WNBA. But who's saving her? After 4 injuries, confusing timelines, and a medical team that's lost her trust, she's finally drawing a line. She's not just protecting her body, she's protecting her future. And she's doing what any smart, elite athlete would do, walking away from the noise and taking control. This isn't weakness, this is strength. And if the Indiana Fever won't step up to protect their star, they might lose her. Not just for a few games, but for good. Let them hear it loud and clear. We stand with Caitlyn 100%.